Skip. I got him at third on my list. For me, for my money, I'm taking Julio. I know Julio's been banged up this year, and he's missed some time, Skip, and he's been in and out of the lineup. But he's still third in NFL in receiving yards. And I love his physicality. For a guy his size, he runs good routes. Now, he's not as crisp a route runner as Devontae, but he can run routes. I got D-Hop second, based on what he was able to do for the time in Houston and what he's been able to build with Kyler. Because think about it, Skip, they had really no OTAs, new to a team, and he's leading, going in, well, he plays now. Right now, Devontae is leading the league in receiving yards, but D-Hop was, so he'll probably catch back up with him and pass him. But for me, it's Julio, D-Hop, and Adams. Now, Adams can score like nobody. We haven't seen anybody be able to score the football like Adams, maybe since probably Randy Moss. He's getting in that Randy Moss and Jerry type area to be able to put the ball in the end zone with the frequency in which he does, Skip. The reason, and one of the reasons, the main reason that I put Julio 1 was his physicality. I thought there were some times last night Devontae should have ended up really having like 3 touchdowns because they threw him some quick screen, Skip, and I thought he should have covered up and plowed his way into the end zone instead of getting out of bounds. But he's legit. He's the real deal. He's about to get some big time money, Skip. They're about to pay him a king's ransom, and deservedly so. But I got him 3 right now. That's not to say at the end of the year he can't move up to 1 or 2, but right now I'm taking Julio, D-Hop, Devontae.
I am not going to argue against Julio. I'm definitely not going to argue against D-Hop. But I'm just going to tell you what my eyes tell me right here, right now. That man I saw last night wearing number 17 is playing at the highest level with the highest degree of difficulty because Aaron really doesn't want to throw it to anybody but that guy. Maybe Tanyan occasionally. As you said, Valdez-Scantling finally got out of the doghouse and made a couple of plays last night. He wants to find 17 come hell or high water, and there's a lot of hell to pay because everybody doubles him. It feels like they triple him. He runs such severe routes where he just plants and bursts out of his routes. He just gets open like crazy. And Aaron trusts him so much, he will throw him any kind of ball under any circumstance. They went to him last night on 4th and short. He runs a speed out, and he's covered. He's got a guy hanging all over him.
The guy got his glove.
I know. And Aaron just says, no, I'm going to force it because I know he's going to catch it. And he did. And he's listed at 6'1", 215. I swear he's playing bigger than that.
He does. He looks a lot taller than that. I thought he was like 6'2", 6'3".
I don't know. So he's hitting right into his... He's 27 in his 7th year. Isn't that just gold? Like you're hitting into your prime. Man, and Aaron just raves about how he has enough speed that you can't play him under. He will run by you.
He's a lot faster than you think he is. And I think that, and all these guys, now Julio can just flat out run, but D-Hop is faster than you think. Now, he doesn't have the speed that Julio has, but he can get deep on you. And everybody can set you up. But when you just look, Skip, I don't know if people know this, Julio is scheduled to pass Jerry Rice for the most receiving yards in the first 10 years of his career. He has the highest receiving yards per game in NFL history. I don't think because, he's in Atlanta and they lose so much, they don't realize.
I got it. But Devontae, now he's the first player ever to record 3 games of at least 10 catches, 150 yards in the team's first 8 games. No one's ever done that before. And he missed 2 games.
People think it's easier, it's harder. People think it's harder to catch the ball if you're the only guy on the team, but it's easier because they're going to feed you the ball. That's why Mike Thomas, year after year, Skip, he was 130. And the thing is that they do with Devontae and what they started doing with Julio and what they do with D-Hop is that they move him. If you look at Marvin Harrison, Skip, his whole career, he lined up in one spot on the right side.
He did.
Reggie Wayne was on the left side, and they played football. They didn't really do motion with Marvin. These guys now, to keep you from doubling him, Skip, I'm going to line you up in the slot, left, right, I'm going to motion you. And think about it, they put him in the backfield sometime and do just so many different things. Guys have gotten really creative to get these guys to football. But, Skip, he's special.
So Julio occasionally to me looks a little stiff. I know he can just fly, but just a little stiff. Great hands, though. But Devontae is so athletic. He's just so... He's
fluid, Skip.
So fluid.
Skip, you got to realize Julio's like 230, 235.
I got it.
I like the confidence from Devontae, too. He was like,
But don't sleep on DK Metcalf either, Skip, now.
No,
I'm
he's
just
coming.
being confident. But what about this one receiver? He's looking to return to that elite level, and his name, Antonio Brown. The guys will give you their predictions on AB's Bucks Day.
Yeah, you got feeling good this morning, Skip. It's a beautiful, beautiful morning.
Really?
Oh, good.
Really? And why is that?
Don't worry about all that. I saw something last night. Woke up with something even better this morning.
Really?
Well, I'm ready to go. I don't even want to talk no more.
I got so bored watching Aaron Rodgers last night that even I thought about flipping over to CNN. But that's just me.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yep.
That's so unbecoming, and you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Bored watching. That's saying something about you, Skip. I don't know about that. Shannon, your guy, did get it done last night. So how about we discuss everything that went down? Rodgers was able to lead Green Bay to a convincing win over the 49ers last night and put up impressive numbers along the way. Rodgers racked up over 300 yards through the air and 4 touchdowns in the 34-17 win. Green Bay led by as many as 31 with 6 minutes to go in the fourth before San Francisco was able to score in garbage time. So, Shannon, you said you're feeling good today. How impressive was Aaron Rodgers last night?
Rodgers was magnificent. It was a virtuoso. And sometimes, Skip, you can look at your opponent and all the great performances, musical performances in history, hasn't necessarily happened at Madison Square Garden or happened at these large arenas. Skip, rest his soul, Prince, the last musical performance he gave in Atlanta at Fox, which is like a 5,000-seat venue, maybe not even that big. But they tell me it was a virtuoso. They said he did play in the play and say it was beautiful.
But he didn't know it was his last performance.
But I'm just saying.
Okay, all right.
When you play a team that you should beat, this is what you do. You go out there, you take care of business, you punch them in the stomach, you punch them in the head like, look, this is what's going to be all night long. You don't give them hope. And that's what he did. Skip, you see this, what he did? Now, he had a QBR. Now, you love QBR. It measures a quarterback's performance with his arms, with his legs, and touchdowns and all the incompletions from 0 to 100.
Yep.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if anybody's ever gotten 100 yet. But there have been a few people that's gotten 99. Now, Aaron Rodgers had a QBR of 99. That's the second highest of the season. Aaron Rodgers, this was his 6th game of 87 plus. Somebody down in Tampa, I won't even mention his name, in Central Florida only has 2 such games. But he's played with. Aaron Rodgers also had, this was a 300 yards, 4 TDs, completed 80% of his passes. Aaron Rodgers has 2 such games of that. There's only one other. That's Russell Wilson. So, Skip, you told me yesterday when we were talking about Aaron Rodgers, when we were talking about Tom Brady and played in the AFC East, it's not his fault. You can only play who's on the schedule. It's funny. I told you how sometimes these arguments that you make one day will come back to be in my favor the next. And here it is. You could only play who's on the schedule. And I know San Francisco, they were beat up. They lost their 3 top receivers. They're down to their 4th or 5th running back. But, hey, I like that they didn't dilly-dally around. I like that they went out there and they took care of business, Skip. And the connection with Devontae and Aaron Rodgers is vastly becoming the best in football. It's hard to say there's a better combination than those two. And we knew that Devontae was going to get a lot of targets because he's been averaging about 13, 14 targets, Skip, over the 4 games that he's been fully healthy. So I'm not surprised. He should have had over 200 because he stepped out of bounds on 1. And we could have been a long time. He just dropped it in his hand. But Skip, he did with it. Now, here's the thing, what I can't understand. Last year, Aaron Rodgers dropped off a cliff. Everybody said it's over. Green Bay even thought it was over because they took a quarterback in the 1st round. Now, Aaron Rodgers had 26 touchdowns and 4 interceptions last year. At the halfway point this year, he's 24-2. Now, I don't know a whole lot of quarterbacks that wouldn't take what Aaron Rodgers is giving right now. 24 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. What your guy got? Does your guy got 24 touchdowns? Does he have fewer than 2 interceptions?
What happened when my guy faced your guy? Help me out.
Oh, Drew Brees.
I'm a little foggy.
Oh, which one of my guys? Drew Brees?
Your virtuoso guy.
Skip, your guy won.
Oh.
Skip, that's what. Hold on. There's a chance that we might see you down the road again.
I hope so.
Yeah, you hope.
I really hope so. More than you ever know. More than I've ever hoped for anything in the history of this show. I hope that Tampa Bay faces A-Rod again.
And then, Skip, what you saw last night is that you saw a guy that was in complete control of the offense and confirms and validates what I knew, that they wasted a couple of draft picks early. They could have got him a receiver. They could have got some help on defense because the two guys that they drafted in the first 2 rounds is not going to help them this year.